Y'all, this situation spiraled out of control way faster than anybody expected because Kim Kardashian didn't just move on quietly. She didn't test the waters. She didn't ease the public into anything. She went straight to official, and the name attached to her? Lewis Hamilton. And the second that headline hit the internet, the temperature changed. Because Kanye West didn't explode the way people thought he would. He didn't rant. He didn't tweet. He didn't go live. He went quiet. And if you followed Kanye long enough, you already know the quiet version is the dangerous version.
C'est dans la te bois, hein.
Ferrari!
Hey Lewis!
So yeah, it's pretty obvious these two weren't just casually hanging out. From the outside looking in, it feels like Kim and Lewis have been living their best, carefree, private jet, champagne at midnight type of life, while the rest of the world watches through blurry paparazzi shots. And fans? They're split straight down the middle. Half of them are cheering her on like, finally, she's happy. The other half are side-eyeing the whole thing like, this feels messy. But Kanye? Oh, his stance isn't mixed at all. It's crystal clear. He hates it. Not a little uncomfortable, not mildly annoyed. Flat out not having it. And here's the wild part, Kim allegedly knows that. Sources say she's moving like she's... Oh, and don't even get me started on this weird joke that he made about a baby.
Something weird happened when I was babysitting the other day. My friend, his son is teething, right? And so like we were watching Forensic Files, and I was just sitting there, and he's teething, so he just like grabbed my hand and started like sucking my fingers, but like good, like I definitely left it in there for a second. I was like, no! Wow, but no!
And if you really think back on it, this isn't Kanye's first rodeo when it comes to Kim's boyfriends turning into full-blown public casualties. Because let's not rewrite history. Pete Davidson? That situation wasn't just awkward. It was nuclear. Those two didn't simply dislike each other. They went to war in broad daylight, right in front of the entire internet. And you already remember the chaos, so we don't even have to unpack every detail. The late-night posts, the random screenshots, the threats, the spirals. It felt like every single day there was a new headline. Another meltdown, another shot fired. It stopped being celebrity drama and started feeling like psychological warfare. Kanye wasn't just mad. He was obsessed. Watching, posting, reacting. Like he physically couldn't let it go. And Pete? Pete became the target. Not just jokes. Not just shade. Targeted. Relentless. To the point where people close to him said it stopped being funny real quick.
The family is better. Cameras watch the kids, I start taking it credit. Now you stole your dad, I bought the house next door. What you think the point of really being rich for?
Yeah, that whole Pete situation? A complete circus. The kind of drama that makes everybody uncomfortable just watching from the sidelines. So if Lewis is smart, and let's be honest, he might want to tread very, very carefully. Because even though Kanye hasn't exploded publicly yet, he's already moving pieces behind the curtain. And honestly, that might be worse. See, people keep waiting for a meltdown, a rant, a viral crash-out moment. But what they're not noticing is the quiet part, the legal part, the paperwork part. According to multiple whispers, Kanye has already sat down with a lawyer. Not for advice. Not just to talk. To strategize. To figure out how to get full custody of the kids. Yeah, full. And it doesn't stop there. He's allegedly asking the court to question Kim's fitness as a mother. Which is wild. Because that's not petty. That's not emotional. That's tactical. That's the kind of move you make when you're ready to drag everything into a courtroom and let it get ugly. Now sure, part of it might be revenge. Oh, you moved on. Now watch me make your life harder type of energy. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. There might actually be just enough smoke for him to argue there's fire. Because lately, there's been chatter. And not the good kind. A blind item floating around a few days ago dropped a pretty shady hint about Kim's parenting. It claimed she doesn't always care about what North is exposed to. The exact line? Just the things this tween was exposed to this past weekend should have the A-list parent calling the cops, but they won't. Now no names were said, but everybody knew who they were talking about. And when you stack that on top of everything else people have been side-eyeing lately, it starts to look messy. Because North's been trending for reasons that aren't exactly wholesome. TikTok clips popping up everywhere. Heavy makeup, face tattoos, fake piercings. Full-on glam rock, grown celebrity aesthetic. Not dress up at home cute. More like, why does a kid look styled for a music video? And listen, some people call it creative expression. Others? They call it way too much, way too fast. Either way, it shocks people. And the internet notices everything. Then there was that corset outfit last year. You remember. Photos everywhere. Comment sections on fire. People arguing for days about whether it was appropriate or not. And Kim initially brushed it off like it was nothing. Called it a non-issue. Defended it hard. Only to backtrack later and admit maybe it was a mistake. But by then, too late. Because once those images hit the internet, they live forever. And Kanye saw all of it. Every clip, every comment, every headline. Which explains why he absolutely lost it when North showed up on TikTok again, especially that Ice Spice-inspired look. That one sent him through the roof. He wasn't just annoyed. He was furious. Talking about safety, control, protection. Like he genuinely felt his daughter was being pushed into grown spaces too fast. So now imagine stacking all of that together. The TikToks, the outfits, the blind items, the new boyfriend, the friend turned stepdad candidate. In Kanye's head, it probably doesn't look like random moments. It looks like a case, a narrative, something he can walk into court with and say, see, this is why. And that's where things stop being celebrity gossip and start turning into something way more serious. Because once custody gets weaponized, nobody wins clean. Not Kim, not Kanye, and definitely not the kids. But if Lewis thought he was just dating Kim, he might have just walked straight into a legal battlefield.
And I don't sleep enough without you, and I can't eat enough without you. If you don't speak, does that mean we're through? Don't like sneaky shit that you do.
Good places later, good places later, he doesn't see her.
Kanye went off on Kim and made it clear that he didn't want North on social media, especially not like that. He all but called Kim a bad mom, but was doing a horrible job of raising North. Kanye went off on Kim and made it clear that he didn't want North on social media, especially not like that. He all but called Kim a bad mom, but was doing a horrible job of raising North.
The phone with Kim, I told her to stop antagonizing me with this TikTok thing. I said it's never again. I am her father. I know y'all don't respect fathers and the idea of family, and media tries to promote something. I said I'm not allowing my daughter to be used by TikTok, to be used by Disney. I have a say-so. There's no such thing as 50-50 custody with in society today. That's not even, it always leans towards the mom. But right now, and I'm happy that you guys got to see just a small piece of what I dealt with.
But instead of respecting his wishes, Kim decided to act hurt and call him an absentee father. She wrote, Kanye's constant attacks on me in interviews and on social media is actually more hurtful than any TikTok North might create. As the parent who is the main provider and caregiver for our children, I'm doing my best to protect our daughter while also allowing her to express her creativity in the medium that she wishes with adult supervision because it brings her happiness. Yeah, so Kanye suddenly pushing for full custody? That didn't just fall out of the sky. This wasn't random. This wasn't some impulsive, middle-of-the-night decision. If you've been watching closely, the signs were already there. Because while everyone's focused on Kanye plotting behind the scenes, Kim has quietly been making moves too. Strategic ones. Calculated ones. The kind you make when you know a legal storm is coming. For weeks now, she's been shaping a narrative. Dropping little comments here and there. Little seeds. Like casually telling people that Kanye goes long stretches without seeing the kids. Not days. Weeks. Sometimes even months. And she didn't say it emotionally either, she said it matter of fact. Like documentation. Like she wanted it on record. Because once you repeat something enough times publicly, it starts sounding less like gossip and more like evidence. And then came the bigger move. The one that made people really pause. Sources say Kim was exploring changing the kid's last name. Not hyphenating. Not adjusting. Dropping West completely. Replacing it with Kardashian. Fully. Like Kanye was never there. And that's not just cosmetic. That's symbolic. That's erasing. Her explanation? She allegedly feels like she's raising them alone anyway. That Kanye's barely around. That he's more ghost than father. So why should they carry his name? Now look, co-parenting with Kanye? Yeah, that probably feels like trying to parent during a hurricane. Nobody's pretending that's easy. But insiders are saying this name change idea isn't just about hurt feelings or logistics. It's legal chess. Because if she locks down full legal custody first, then she controls everything. Schools, travel, decisions, public exposure, even who gets access to the kids. And at that point, Kanye could yell all he wants. He wouldn't be able to stop anything. So yeah, this isn't just messy. This is $2 billion personalities quietly preparing for war. And here's where it gets ironic. Because while Kanye's furious about Kim moving on with Lewis, people keep pointing out something kinda uncomfortable. He's not exactly single himself. He's been married. For years. Whole wife. Whole ceremony. Whole new life. And did Kim get a gentle heads up? Did he warn her the way she's allegedly trying to tiptoe around his feelings now? Nope. She found out the same way everybody else does these days. Online. Through headlines. Imagine waking up and learning your ex, the father of your kids, secretly got married and you weren't even told. Yeah, that stings. Apparently it stung her bad. Because right after that news broke, she had her own quiet spiral. Nothing dramatic. Just those cryptic Instagram posts. The kind celebrities make when they're hurt but pretending they're unbothered. Quiet girl era. Not much to say, just much to do. The black sheep turns into the goat. Those aren't random quotes. That's coded pain. And the Kardashians? They were blindsided too. Sources say the family didn't even know he was seriously seeing someone, let alone married. They didn't know if it was real or a stunt. They were waiting to see if papers got filed. Because if it was real, that woman would suddenly be around the kids. In their space. In their lives. And word is Kim wasn't comfortable with that at all. She reportedly didn't want Bianca around North. Didn't trust it. Didn't like it. But Kanye didn't ask. Didn't compromise. Didn't slow down. He just had North hanging around her anyway. Photos. Outings. Public appearances. To the point where people say Kim low-key felt replaced. So now, fast forward. Kim starts seeing someone. And suddenly Kanye wants full custody? Now he's worried about who's around the kids. Yeah, people are calling that hypocrisy real quick. Because the rules only seem to apply when it's her. And that's why this whole situation feels less like romance drama. And more like years of resentment finally exploding. Lewis isn't the real problem. He's just the spark. The match. What's actually burning? Old wounds, old grudges, old trust issues that never healed. Now the lawyers are involved. Custody's on the table. Names are being questioned. This isn't shade anymore. This is life-altering decisions. Courtrooms, judges, paperwork that changes families forever. So yeah, this stopped being who's Kim dating a long time ago. Now it's something heavier. Something colder. And until those deeper issues get dealt with, it honestly won't matter who she dates or how private she tries to be. Because the tension between her and Kanye, it's not going anywhere. It's just evolving. Getting sharper. More complicated. And sooner or later, all that pressure, it's going to spill right back onto social media for the whole world to watch.